Welcome to our podcast. Isabella Butters and all the other lovely folks joining us from around the world. Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Who bet to lose? Guys, we're talking today about Dr. Amlata Prasad. That's a person of interest. A true Guyanese scholar. Our person of interest, folks, a real doctor. A real doctor. Yep. Going to be our topic of discussion today. Doing some tremendous things in the diaspora. We're going to be talking about that. So happy to have each and every one of you. I see Marcus Soba has joined us, Saber, and Alexis Charmley Richmond has joined us as well. Let us know if you're receiving our audio loud and clear. Patricia Isaac, how are you doing? How are you doing out there? So glad to have Patricia with us. So glad to have Patricia with us today. And all the other folks, Benjamin, San Francisco, Richard Wilford, Hazel, Wendy Griffin, Arlene, Emberson. Good to have you folks. We know as you come on, we always invite you guys. Here the live, Catherine, Ennis, good to see you. Roxanne Odessa, Jacobs. Tanya Cummins is here and you are checking it out. Good to have you beautiful folks with us. How is the weather where you guys are? How is the weather where you guys are? We're going to run that back from the top. Love the soundtrack. Yep. What's the weather like where you guys are? What's the luck? Freak out. What's the luck? What's the luck? That's what we're tracking. Solar Island. Solar Island, a little bit. Whatever you owe us, we forgive you. Whatever you owe me, I forgive you, Solar. Cherry One rocks up. Good to have you. Better outside than we are. Weather.com tells us 39 degrees outside with an 11% chance of the rain. It's 39 degrees, but it feels like 37. I think it's going to be lovely weather wherever she is, at this hour, whatever she might be doing. Yep. Big shout out to Amanda. Mansa Walton Desire. Mansa, you online today? Mala Pandey. Good to see Mala. Yep. Mala holds it down for us in the South Covensburg area. He's totally in control of that area. Wilma Grant, to Jack Smith, unruly Texas. Good to see you as well. 39 degrees outside. You see, it feels like 37 with 11% chance. And 11% chance for raining. Yep, don't think that's going to happen. You gotta watch and see. Watch and see, good people. Watch and see. Good to have Wilma Grant. Eliza Durant, good to have you. Jackie Smith, good to have you. Soka Man, good to have you. June Cameron, good to have you, June. Take some flowers. Tanya knows how we like it. Tanya's our kind of girl. Take some flowers. Yep. Really good to have you beautiful folks with us. Really happy to have you fantastic folks with us. Good to have you lovely folks with us today. How are you folks doing out there? Little Jacob and Vincent. Lena William, how are you doing, Lena? Good to have Lena with us. It's great where you are, Lena. I hope you played it well. Good to have you here. Good to have Lena in company. more to the Quincy Reynolds, we're talking about, and company, Aaron Clark, and a global Dan, and a good. I gave you a whole other surname. Pamela Harry. We'll have a platform not to be left out. And we're going to discuss a couple of things before we get around to talking about two Guyanese scholar. I'm not two Guyanese. And then we're going to start. Stay with us, guys. Share the live, smash the emotion, and prepare to party with me. You know, some of the old people is running what here. We wish. We wish first. That's simple. We so wish. If the only word that's the only word that's right? We have to let you guys stay here. No doubt. We have to be good folks here with us. Really have to stay here with us. Love your company. I hope you all understand it by now. We love your company. Fight love your own company. Fight for your own company. And again, we're talking today for a topic of discussion. I'm Lata Prasad. Not being scholarly proud. Very, very proud. Very, very proud. I'm Lata Prasad being here in the diaspora. And everything is very exciting. Fantastic. Fantastic. Good to have you, Carmela. Carmela, one was the story. Hot after the Aaron, you know, Isis Mingo and Edward Gonzalez. All right. Hope you guys are good. You know, one of the first things we want to talk with you guys about, one of the first things we want to talk to you guys about is the police force deciding to, pull back the promotion of that officer that was named as part and parcel of the investigation concerning Quindon Bacchus. And even though it should not have been done in the first place, we're still grateful. You know, better late than never. The same weekend the fellow was charged is the very weekend they announced the promotion. You know, we wonder if the right hand know what the left hand is doing. Not always, you know. Not always. We wonder. It causes us to pause and to think. When you see some things like that, is a country we have, or is it a cake shop? Is it a country that we have, or is it a cake shop? And we were happy to see that the Ghana police force, better sense prevailed. Let's just put it that way. Better sense has prevailed, and then boys have pulled back that story. They pull it back. Better sense prevailed. Is that always the case? Because some things we see emanating out of the Ghana police force, it causes us to wonder. It causes us not only to wonder, but to also to reflect on that prayer by the Ghana police force chaplain, Reverend Julichan, Patrick Julichan. It causes us to reflect on things like that. Right? It causes us to reflect on things like that. when he prayed against corruption, nepotism, and all the vices that currently wrap up and lash around the Guyana police force neck. The fireman, yeah, the fireman, the very next day, they said, then like this prayer. They wanted to know if he could correct it. He said not correcting it, and they fire him. Right? But then Ali trying to save face, unfire him. He unfired him. But we're so happy that they have now bring back, they have taken back that promotion. Right? They had a fancy excuse as to why they didn't go forward with the promotion. Well, why they went forward with the promotion from the inception. Right? They had an excuse then. But better sense prevail, as we said, folks. But it brings the question, some other folks who were promoted and were on investigation. There was even a police officer who saw nothing wrong with being investigated and being promoted. He said the two are not one and the same. Actually had a court matter out of that. Actually had a whole court matter out of that. Right. He was fighting to be promoted. Fighting to be promoted. While his own when he was being investigated. So we understand that there's going to be a school of thought out there. Gary Archer and Carl Miller. We understand there's going to be a school of thought out there that suggests that such a person can be elevated, can be promoted, and nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that kind of modus operandi. But I'm thankful that not every Guyanese believe so. Right? I'm thankful that not every Guyanese believes so. I'm thankful for that. And again, I'm thankful that better sense prevailed. And we saw and read a report this morning that the police commissioner acting, Clifton Higgins, he has withdrawn. I think that's the comment I saw. Right? I think that's the comment I saw. He has withdrawn the promotion. I want to give you guys credible, valid information. He has withdrawn that promotion. Shouldn't have happened in the first place. But this is Guyana. Didn't think y'all would have vexed. And we picked up this report out of the Village Voice. We want to give the credit there. Picked up this report out of Village Voice. Them boys pulled back the promotion. Just another in Guyana. Shouldn't have happened. It did. They pull it back. Carmilla, Sheldon Wickham, shouldn't have happened, but it did. I won't pretend it didn't happen because it did. And now they're seeking to correct course. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Right? Go forth and sin no more. You know that will not be for long. Go forth and sin no more. It will not be for long. Right? And no sooner is that happening. No sooner is that happening. They got other things bubbling up in this country. Like Jack Joe, for instance, y'all know he's still fighting this libel case in the courts with Annette Ferguson. He's still fighting. He's still fighting up. Fighting tooth and nail. Not for a big man like you, a little 20 million show me nothing. Pay the woman, let me move on there, man. Don't waste your time at the court. Don't let me waste your time at the court. Marilyn Seaforth, Carl Miller, Vincent Henry, run the lane. Don't let me waste the time at the court. You're making me something. You're making us something. As you guys would know, that first court matter was before High Court judge. Yep, it was before High Court judge. It's courteous, right? Was before a High Court judge, and as I get into that, just to be accurate, the guy whose promotion was withdrawn, Lord have mercy. The guy's whose promotion was withdrawn, the youngster is Damian McLennan. It's Officer Damian McLennan. Sergeant Damian McLennan. His promotion was withdrawn. But we following Jack in the court, and the fact that not only now has the judge, let me see what court she has. The name was just there. Now I gotta. You know what? Look, since this last board, I find a number of number of things have transpired. Sandra Cortez. She had found from the inception, in our first case, that yes, Jack Dio defamed Annette Ferguson. He defamed her. And so Annette won the case. And now he appealed to the full court. He didn't trust the judgment of Ms. Cortez alone. He wants the full court impression. Sandra Cortez. He wants the full court impression of what transpired. And now the full court is split so that the original decision stands. Priya Singh Bihari says, no, he didn't defame. Well, Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire says he did it. And since there's a split, the original decision stands. But we think your boy can carry it further. We think your boy can carry it further. And we're watching for that. So that's where we are on that front. And that is where we are on that front, good people. And then we're hearing that, Jack Neoback's call for Vice News probe. Right. It's only left he do the probe himself. It's only left him to do the investigation himself. Right? You can put cat for watch milk. Look. You could put cat for watch milk, Anna Phillips, Gaylord Evans. You could put cat for watch milk. Irfan said there should be investigation. So he chime in now. He giving Irfan a chance. Irfan word can't fall. Irfan don't get a chance to prove himself. He just there. He there like the PvP over the shoulders of the Amerindians, the indigenous brothers and sisters, having the National Two Shows Conference right now. That. He do over them. Well, that's how he do over Irfan. Breathing down his neck. Irfan's investigate, he jump in. Why you need to say something? Why do you feel the need to say something? Well, y'all can tell us, if you all know, why you feel the need to say something? Irfan said there should be an investigation, the authority should investigate. Why he got to say something? He like talk. That's what getting the problem in the first place with Annette. That's what getting the problem in the first place. Sandra Ford. That is what got him in the problem. Gloria Fraser the first time. Jackie Beard. That's what got him in the problems the first time. So we following that. Jagdio Back's call for Vice claims. Jagdio Back's call for Vice. Right? For this probe into the claims that were made in the mini documentary. You had to say something. And then we got two fraud situations we're following up. Two fraud situations we're following up. And one of the fraud situations we're following up relates to the people who are looking for love on Facebook. And we had a very lengthy discussion on this on the morning program, FYI. We refer you there for that. Suffice to say that, ladies, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Know you guys work very hard. Right? You all work very hard. You gotta be careful out there. Because this fella tell this woman he needed your help. She considered he's your Facebook boyfriend. I mean, like, what's a Facebook boyfriend? Anne-Marie Selby, you got a Facebook boyfriend? Lena Williams, what about you? You got a Facebook boyfriend? Sandra Beard, Philippa Hazel, I'm tempted. Right? To ask a couple more of you, what's a Facebook boyfriend? I mean, like, I just don't understand it. Maybe the science is too high for me. It's high science. But what's a Facebook boyfriend? I wonder how much people got a Facebook boyfriend, but he ain't got them. Rajpak Singh, you somebody Facebook boyfriend? How many people got Facebook boyfriend, but the Facebook boyfriend ain't got them? Lena Williams says, no way. She ain't got no Facebook boyfriend. She's happily married. Lena says, no way. She's happy. I know she's happily married, but I'm just asking. Sometimes you gotta ask questions, you know. Don't take things for granted. Don't take things for granted. What about Audrey Brown? Right? Audrey Brown's his Facebook frackster. Pretty Melissa, you got a Facebook boyfriend? Right? You don't know. You gotta ask. You know, I see a big storm brewing on Facebook. It's who and who DM and so on. That's the other thing. Right? So ladies are publishing their inbox. And they're saying, you know, come find your man. Look, he's been in my DM. Right? So by that measure, a lot of boyfriends out there. Right? A lot of boyfriends out there. Or a lot of people looking to be boyfriends. One to the two. But some women are having it. Some women are having it. Right? So I want you ladies to be careful because this gentleman here, Japhon Hines, this woman gave him a lot of money to help him out of a situation with claims that, you know, they got some things coming true for you. Some things coming true for you, dear. Hold it down. Some things coming true. And she believed them. One report says in 3 instances, she forwarded money via Western Union to Japhon, who was fronting for the Facebook boyfriend. But nothing coming. Nothing forthcoming. You know? I would love to hear some of the recordings of that Facebook boyfriend relationship. I mean, how somebody you just meet on Facebook. You meet on Facebook. You never see the person yet. You never hold your hand. You never breathe in his face. And he can tell you, send you $500,000 away. But some of you are like, I don't know. Where you ask me these friends from, man? You know? Where you ask me these friends from? I want a couple of friends like that, man. I ain't saying I ask you for $500,000. But you just never know. Oh, a couple, a handful, not plenty. Not plenty. 3 times the man gets money out of her. 502,000 in one instance. You know? So I'm advising you, ladies out there, to be careful. Be extremely careful. I know some of you have been through some stuff, coming through some stuff. And sometimes some things look like gold, glittering like gold. But it's not that, it's not that. It's not that. And I told you one time how a lecturer at university told us, she said, these UG boyfriends that you got, she was talking to the girls. And these UG girlfriends that you got, she said, watch that, it's not love, She said, chances are, my lecturer, she says, chances are it's not love. What was she talking about? Usually back in them days, you used to have to struggle, fetch bench from here, fetch chair from sir. Right? You're getting your grades on time, your application and going through a lot of problems back in those days. And sometimes you meet people with similar problems, y'all strike up a conversation, condemning UG. Next thing you know, you and a UG boyfriend situationship, right? You in an entanglement. She says when relationships start like that, it comes out of that kind of a situation together. She said it might not be love, it might be something called traumatic bonding. Traumatic bonding. That can happen, traumatic bonding. For instance, you've been through a relationship. You got a male friend who has been there on the phone saying, no, things gonna work out, you're gonna make it through, you're gonna come through, and so on. I went through something similar. This girl put me through a lot of problems, but look, I stand up on my foot now. Next thing you know, you and he in an entanglement. It could be love, but the expert says more time than that. It's traumatic bonding. I can see some people now listening to me, wondering if what they're in is traumatic bonding. Is it entanglement, a situationship? What is it? Right? What is it? Traumatic bonding. Right? That's like Guyana spectator in the PPP. Traumatic bonding. You, Lafferman Rubens, good to see you. Right? So it's a lot of things happening with relationships right now. You got this here. But y'all know, some of us, y'all will make it like me. I won't make it in a relationship like that if a woman want them kind of money. Because I ain't got it. So she would mistake very early. But she say, babes, I got a little $500,000 problem. You could send you something. Right? That won't last too long. Some of y'all women, y'all know that too. You don't got that kind of thing in the bank now. Right? But in your heart of hearts, the bank book fat. In your heart of hearts, the bank book fat. Right? So you won't make it like that. He won't think you. Right? He won't hoodwink you like that. I see Gene Williams say fraud is fraud. Gene Williams says fraud is fraud. Well, if fraud is fraud, we got to talk about the doctor. We got to talk about the doctor. Michael McLennan. Fraud is fraud. The Ghana Cancer Society told us recently that a young man that was doing some work with them, Michael McLennan, he's not really a doctor. But some of the backstory suggests that it's a news entity, a news reporter would have told them, you see this fella here, you got to watch him, he's not really a doctor. And then like when Bibi Hassan started doing her own little homework and so on, she realized it's true. Well, the fella did come out in social media overnight and he said, well, it's true, I'm not a doctor. But in my heart of hearts, I'm a doctor. He said, I went through some struggles. I started UG. I had to drop out because of some financial circumstances. And I couldn't get to finish off. And, to get some experience and so on. I did a couple of things. I went around people and so on to learn a little more about the health profession. I'm proud of everything. But in my heart of hearts, as a doctor, I'm sorry. In my heart of hearts. The story sounds a little familiar to us. Fake doctor, quackter, dropping out to UG. It sounds familiar to us, like we see this movie before. Right? I know a lot of people have been saying, Michael McLennan, you don't worry. You can be president of this country. You don't worry, Michael. Right? All is not lost. I see a lot of people saying that. You can be president. You drop out to UG, you're a fake doctor. You could be president of this country. You don't worry. You don't worry at all. All right? We say differently. We say differently. But that has been the view of some folks. You don't worry, Mikhail. Them boys can come and you can get some recruiters very soon. And you got the potential to be presidential material in this country. Fake degree, grades and adding up, your story and adding up, and so forth. Right? You could one day rise to be president. If the right people spot you, if the right recruiters, if the right installers spot you, you gone big time. Right? You gone big time. So don't worry about anything. Nikhil McLennan. Right? We got you covered. Satire aside, folks. This young man has to reflect on his ways. Hope nobody got hurt in the process, physically, because if you're prescribing now as a doctor, wrong medication and all of that, it's problems. Right? Then by sell you treat everything, just give you a pink pill. Things aspirin is a special one. Your head hurting is the pink pill. You get triggers, the pink pill. Do you know if anybody's been hurt by this pretense, this make believe, this fraud that Dr. McLennan turned out to be? We hope not. Right. But I'm certain that if he wants to make amends, he could turn his whole life around, He could turn his whole life around. But it's up to him. Right? You continue down this road or not. They got another fella in the city like that. Always trying to con somebody out to something. Staying at hotels, running up some big bills. Always trying to hook up with some girl that got some money that you can milk she out of. Always got a scheme. Right? You into condom promotion, you into something. A lot of scams we got in this place, Right? See one of them on this thing here going around with a name spectator, something like that. A lot of scams in this place. A lot of scams in this place, folks. But we got to be careful out there. We got to be careful out there. And there is something called due diligence. You got to do your due diligence, Some people come in your company, your organization. You got to run them through Google. When in doubt, Google. One thing I like about, I find it fascinating about places like Berbice. Right? My wife is a wait. Soon as you say wait, people don't connect you to 10 generations. Oh, wait from Litchfield, wait from 28, wait from 32, wait from 64. Right? They don't know your great uncle, your blood type. We had for lunch last year, February the 6th. Right? Those people carry around due diligence with them. Cultural knowledge. You say, yeah, Duncan. Oh, Duncan from where? Seafield? Duncan from where? Yeovil? They carry around that thing in their head like genealogy. They're good with that. You got to do your due diligence with some folks, Because we got a lot of scams in this place, that's what I want to tell you. Right? Right, Dr. Guyanese Spectator? A lot of scams in this place. Right, Dr. Irfan Ali and Dr. Jangri? A lot of scams. A lot of scams in this place. Dr. Guyanese Spectator? A lot of them. Right? If you vex, the truth hurts. The truth is hurt sometimes. But folks, I want to direct your attention to some more positive stories. Dr. Guyanese Spectator, I want to direct your attention to a more uplifting story. And that of a real doctor, Amalata Prasad. A real doctor. Dr. Amalata Prasad. And years ago, I heard about this young lady and about her academic prowess. And I was so privileged and so moved recently when I read this story out of Starbuck News. Starbuck News has a good weekend feature, good weekend magazine, Now, some of y'all must stop buying beers for the boys all the time. Buy a good Sunday newspapers and edify yourself. Your life will be better with it. Who has some good features in their papers too? Only on Sundays, though. The Chronicle. On Sundays, they got a good Sunday magazine. I like that for Starbucks News too. Yeah, buy beers every day and go Baroom Bar. You're complaining the price got up from 15,000, 70,000. You got them prices to pay for that. You could buy a book. You could buy two newspapers and edify yourself. So years ago, folks, as I said, I came into contact with this name. Um, I don't know. Maybe I was always interested in newspapers because that's what I was reading when I saw that this young lady out of Queen's College had managed to attract a Rhodes Scholarship. And I thought, wow, wow. And I wrote down somewhere, I was telling Trisha this morning, people who inspire you. When I read her story, and I stuck in that name there as one of the names, Amalata Prasad. And over the years, I can see, in my heart of hearts, I've always wondered what has happened to Amlata Prasad. I'm putting another A there, Richard. I've always wondered over the years what has happened to Amlata Prasad. Well, folks, I give to you Dr. Amlata Prasad. And it is true. I remember growing up and seeing on Multilateral School compound and blazing across that building in big, bold letters. Right? I think it was believe, achieve, something was the motto written across the school. But we know it as what the heart of man can conceive and believe he can achieve. And the academic body of work of this young lady is tremendous. A Guyanese living in the diaspora, working hard, raising a family, and such sheer academic brilliance. Some people are born with it, right? But if you dedicate yourself, and you apply yourself in a very structured, methodical way, measured way, you can do it too. You might not have been born with it. Like I'm going to Shakespeare now. Is it Shakespeare? I might put it. That's Shakespeare. It might be somebody else. There's some men are born great. Some men achieve greatness. And some men have greatness bestowed on them. Amlat Prasad was born bright. So heartened by her story. And I think every Guyanese, you can be proud of this young lady. There are others out there too, There got others out there who have a sheer love of country. A sheer love of country. And I'm always inspired by Guyanese who, in the diaspora especially, and they're slugging it away. They're plowing away, right? And I'm being told, yes, my Shakespeare was right. This is, I'm quoting Twelfth Night. Some men are born great. Some achieve greatness. And some have greatness trusted upon them, or trust upon them. Yep. Right. We don't all born bright. We don't all born a gold spoon in our mouth. But by the dint of hard work, we could achieve a couple things. Read about the life of Yesu Prasad. If you need some inspiration from where he started to where he transitioned life as a respectable businessman, an entrepreneurial icon. And you can see, not everybody born rich. But if you do a couple of things right, of which hard work is right in the ingredient there, you could make it. Not everybody born bright, right? I'm researching now what is the brightest light there is. You got LED lights. Like, what's the? I know they got 7,000 something and 8,000. What's it? Right? Some will be born like a little 30-watt bulb. That's like me, a little 30-watt bulb. If so much, I must say it was a little 20. A little 20-watt bulb. But if you know what the deficiencies are, right? If you know where to keep knowledge, you can go after it. And so I stumbled accidentally on this name, Amlata Prasad. And as I said to you, I've always wondered what has become of this young woman with so many promises. Well, Starbucks News answered the question for me over the weekend. Dr. Amlata Prasad. And part of their report says that very early in life, she distinguished herself academically, topping the country at the secondary school entrance examination. She topped the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate Examination in 1999, and later the GCE A-level examination. The former Queen's College student is also Guyana's first female Rhodes Scholar. This is where I met her. First female Rhodes Scholar, and perhaps the first Guyanese to receive several prestigious fellowships of one kind. It says here that Dr. Amlata Prasad is a global education specialist. Oh, we need you in this country. Oh, tech minister education. She's a global education specialist. I'm sure Dr. Prasad would say, I will not step down. A global education specialist who is spearheading the leadership and system section of the Childhood Education International, CEI, doing consultancies, developing and delivering leadership training programs and strategic planning programs for education leaders globally. Now that is masterclass. That is the level she's arisen at. You know, Judy would be interested here because when I read parts of this first, it said that she thought that economics was her thing. I think she even pursued a degree in economics, right? But then when she delved deep into economics, she loved the educational aspect of it. That if you really want to change a country, she thought was only through the economic route, economic planning. But as she studied it more and more, she felt that it was through educating that we could have great social change. And whether it's through one or the other, both can produce what we need to take this country forward. That's why I want you all know. And so today, in our own simple way, by recognizing her as our person of interest, we are saluting the work of Dr. Amlata Prasad, now a mother and wife. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Now a mother and a wife. Right? She's married to one Malcolm Sears. Right? And she has a daughter. She has a son as well. And a mother raising her own family. This organization that she works for, CEI, is an international development organization, it says here in the notation, founded in 1892, that works to strengthen and amplify works to strengthen solutions to education challenges by supporting leaders in education systems. It focuses on improving children's lives, with particular attention to the most vulnerable living in challenging circumstances. And I love that this is what she has dedicated herself to doing. And I want to read some of her academic accomplishments for you. And I'm telling you, you could be born in Crabwood Creek. You could be born in Alboystown, Tiger Bay, South Ramville, any community in this country. And if you believe you got a little something inside you, listen to me, you got a spark. You put a spark with the right ingredients, I'm telling you, that could become a flame. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. I beg you all, don't give up. In May of this year, 2022, Dr. Prasad received the title of Doctor of Education. In May of this year, in International Education Development from the prestigious Teachers College, Columbia University, New York. Dr. Prasad is also the holder of a master's degree in philosophy in developmental studies and a Bachelor of Arts, graduating with honors in politics, philosophy, and economics from the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. This was the Rhodes Scholarship. So a pretty impressive academic resume, a pretty academic, a pretty impressive academic resume. She said her passion has always been development, poverty reduction, and helping countries move forward. Different disciplines were more appropriate, and so she started off with economics and politics. But over time, her interest changed, right, to where it is today in terms of developmental education. And in terms of family, the report here out of Starbucks News said she's now married and is a mother of a 5-year-old son and a daughter who is 3. She says, I have a full plate. And in all of this, folks, in all of this, it is so interesting because, like many of us, she's had family challenges and all of that. Put aside studies to start a family, pick up back studies. It's not where you start this life, And that's the point we were making when we were talking about the fake doctor. This is the real deal. The real deal is not where you start this life determines how you finish it. Right? And here she's saying, I have a full plate. I started my doctorate in 2013. And about the same time, I started my family, an extremely challenging situation. I like to think of it not as a detour, but as a different way of life alongside academia. I took a number of leave of absences during my studies because I wanted to spend time with the children when they were younger. Then when COVID-19 hit in 2020, I was at the stage of finishing up, and we kept the children at home because they were very young. They went through preschool, and I was at home with them all the time, full time. And then I got back to studies. I was juggling full-time mom, dissertation, and consulting. Folks, we got to know how to walk and chew gum. We got to know how to walk and chew gum. And so for us at this end, folks, in celebrating the life of Dr. Amlata Prasad, in this way, by featuring her in our person of interest, we want to say to some of you out there, don't give up, And we want to say to those Guyanese, especially in the diaspora who are working hard, good job. Good job. Keeping our country's flag flying high like this. Good job. Don't give up. Don't give up. That's why I pull out your own life from when I read this account here. I want to thank Starbucks News for pursuing stories like this. When I read it, you might got a little detour. Don't give up. And it doesn't only speaks to academia. They got other things I know. A lot of us started out by wanting to. Right? Don't. Yeah. A lot of folks may have wanted to do a lot of things. You had a lot of passion. Right? But then life happened. Right? They say life is what happens when you finish making your plans. Don't give up. It's never too late. I don't care. I know a large part of the demographic who listen to us is big people. You could be 40, 50, 60, 70 even. Don't give up. Don't give up. And you can have a detour. You take a pause for a cause, but then you go back. And you finish up, re-engage your passion. And that is why we started this year by saying pace and power. And that is why the mantra for this podcast is who vex. You got to do, you got to do. Don't worry about who watching and who looking and all of that. You got to be you. I got to be me. There are things that God put in me that nobody else got. There are things that I got to do that nobody else can do. That's the thing over me life. And that is why for my own reasons, I don't look to see who else doing what. Who else show doing what and who else show and who else got bigger numbers and the numbers. Folks, listen to me. I learned very early in my life, very early, that if you find a passion, fame and acclaim and all, them things will follow you, But some of y'all get tied up. Y'all is chasing the fame, right? Like Mikhail, is the fame you're chasing and end up doing a sort of foolishness. If you find something you're passionate about and you pursue that with integrity, you pursue that with vigor, Right? You pursue that with honesty. Nobody can hold you back, you know. And that is why I like what this prophet they call Jesus said. He said, "No man can take my life from me. I willingly lay it down." Right? Martin Luther King put it another way. He says, "I'm not fearing anyone. I'm not fearing anything. My eyes have seen the glory and the coming of the Lord." When you know what you're supposed to be doing, when you figure out the purpose, like nobody can stop you, you know. You don't care what blind your neighbor got with furniture coats fetching in or fetching out. Because you know who you is, you know who you be, and you pursue those things. And so we say respect and manners. Dr. Amlata Prasad, respect and manners. You know, sometimes we focus this aspect of our program, person of interest, on people who do some foolishness or doing some foolishness. Last week we featured the commissioner of police. This week is a figure who is more inspirational, right? A global leader in education, a Guyanese, Dr. Amlata Prasad. You almost know your children read about Amlata Prasad. Everything is politics, 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 you know. Because you're going to be vexed a lot of days in this country. A lot of days. Right? A lot of days in this country. You're going to be vexed. But if you want a hero for your children, this young lady is a good one. I don't even offer myself up. You want a good role model, this young lady is a good one. The real deal. A real doctor. Not fake doctor. Not quacker. Nobody then bestow a PhD on her. And I no disrespect to people who had PhD, you know, bestow them. Because we have some good folks who, because of their great body of work, have had a PhD bestowed on them. But she studied. I think she said it took her about 13 years to finish up this thing here. Right? And I am tremendously encouraged to see what the next 13 years of her life is going to do. And she said in this piece here, again, I give the attribution to Starbuck News, who did the piece of journalism here. Good journalism here. A good feature. He says that if our country needs her help, she's opened. Right? I can see somebody that are going to try to convert you on corruption. Right? Not the kind of help. If you want real help, and for us to help the children of this country in a meaningful way, these are the kind of people who we need, who got a passion and a drive to do it. You know, she could have pursued economics because she was that bright, just for the sake of pursuing economics. But she said, I want to go where I feel the passion in me. Some of y'all in a lot of places, people push theology, y'all ain't suited for. I see a lot of them with them ministries and so on and all over the place. Mama guy in themselves, they ain't suited for it, you know. And then doing one thing. Oh, if you passion is just pick a little cherry, you can do that. You can make the world a better place. Right? And we don't look down on any kind of work. All honest work is honorable. But if that's where your passion is, come out to politics, then, man. You're hurting people. This is somebody, your children have to look for, you know. You have to search in Russia, search in the US for good role models. We got a couple of them right here. Right? In politics, outside of politics, at the side, in front, you name it. This is a good role model for our kids. And we say respect and manners to this young lady. Respect and manners. So all of you out there making a difference. I say respect and manners to you too. Because I know lots of you who listen to us. Right? You're in a job somewhere, making a difference, making a mark, making it count, improving lives, changing lives. Respect and manners to you too. In the diaspora, you got to be flying high. Respect and manners to you good folks. Right? Or you're right in this country too. You're right in this country, making a difference. Sometimes it's not even recognized, but you're still every day. You get up and you commit yourself and you're pushing forward. You're slugging away. Right? You all think every day I wander out here? Some days I'm so tired, but I got something in me that's saying, keep going. Keep going. Keep fighting. A brighter day just beyond the horizon. Right? You got to do what you got to do, and I got to do what I got to do. That's why I don't concern how threatening those guys are, how formidable they look. They got a whole army behind them, a whole police force. I know the man upstairs, and one with he's a majority. They gotta do what they gotta do. And I hope Peter Sill's gonna do what he gotta do, and Bella Moda gonna do what she gotta do, and Sonia Sargent gonna do what she gotta do, Lizzie Simon and Dolly Jones. Do what you gotta do, respect and manners. Quad Paris gonna do what he gotta do, and together, we can move this country forward. The Amlata Pasals of this world doing what they got to do. The other industrious folks, professional people, what you call them, the artisans and so on, doing what they gotta do, and we can make the thing a better place. We can make this country a better place for all of us. Dolly Jones gonna do what she got to do. Deborah Clark, Wilfred McCarty. I got my young son Ethan Lee in studio with me today. He gonna do what he gotta do when he grow up. He watching me says, "What that my name?" Rachel Roberts gonna do what she gotta do. Right? Eliza Durant, Sandra Davis, Wilma Grant, Onika Light gonna do what she gotta do. And we go forward. We're going down the road together, folks. I see Paula Phillips says MP Sheridan can keep on trucking. Toot toot. Keep on trucking. We out here, we outside, folks. Right. When I dead and God, I want people say, he die empty. Use up everything he had. Right? I must die hoarse without vice and so on. Not in a sickly way, because you're just empty, you're finished. My God, I must be able to return to Father and finish, Lord. I've done everything you want me to do. Right? I fight everybody, tell me fight. Right? Abuse everybody, tell me abuse. Folks, my little son is home with me for a little bit. He's come from overseas. And he said, first thing he saw me, he said, Daddy, why do you always say, let's fight? He said, do you mean it in an encouraging way? I said, yes, that's our meaning. What do you mean by let's fight? Right? You don't know. We got some jacobats out there. We got to fight, Some trench crappos. We got to fight. Right? But I'm inspired today by the life of this young lady, and I hope you guys are as well. You got to look for heroes, Right? Because we got some people out there, if you follow them, you can put your head against a rock every day. Oh, you're vexed with them. We got to look for some true heroes. And this country got a lot if you just know where to turn. I was happy to share one of them with us today. Right? And I can say, I have been inspired by the life of this young lady. I have put off finishing up my master's degree. I've started. Right? And the records are there, QG. I ain't like Mikhail. I've started and I've been in class with folks. Right? Full disclosure, the fella that do all them problems at Guyal the other day that resigned the CEO, he was in my master's class. A couple of folks went on to do good too. When I was starting my master's, Judy was finishing up her. She saw me in class. She could verify. Her class is right opposite mine. She could verify. He's either fetching water for the tutor in the class every day or actually doing something. But I got to finish up. I'm encouraged by this. Right? Believe it or not, I was very busy in 2020. And I was missing a lot of classes because I was campaigning, and I took a leave of absence. But I got to go back and finish up. For my kids, right? Ethan in studio with me, sharing his gum. I got to go back and finish up for the next generation too. Move off the scene. Do I got to do? You do what you got to do. And the next generation come and move this country forward. Right? That's me time, folks. That is our program. That is our time. And that's the program. Share the live. Smash the emoji button, folks. Partner with us. Can't do this without you. Together, we can move this thing forward. We can move this country forward. And we can be better for it. If we leave this country the way we found it, we wicked. If our children got to come, and Amalata's children got to come, and meet the same problems we have found. God, we wicked, stink, and dirty. We got to change this country in good ways. Not high crime, high cost of living, not the kind of negative, wicked thing, but change it for the better. Change it for the better. And we need all hands on deck. Smart people like Dr. Prasad. You and I, the Manzas of this world, the Jeritas of this world, together, we can do this thing. together. Folks, that's our time. We're out of time. That's our program. We're going to see you guys right back here in the ring. Do us a big favor. Hundreds of you are watching us. Share the live and smash the emoji button. Partner with us, folks, and let me move ahead. Respect and manners for a person of interest today, Dr. Amlata Prasad. That's the time, folks. That's our program. Make the shares look nice, Deborah Clark. Make the shares look nice, Barbara Barrington. Make the shares look nice, Marilyn DeJong. Roxanne War, make the shares look nice, the man. Paula Ferris, make the shares look nice. Lynette Jacobs, make the shares look nice. Smash the emoji button. Partner with us. You all know we're available via Zelle, PayPal. We're available via Cash App as well. MMG, that's the guy in a Cash App. We're available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well, folks. And this is how we do the work here. Fully public funded by you folks, by you great folks, by you generous folks. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your support. See you guys right back here this evening. That is our time, guys. And that is our program. Stay safe.